Hi everyone, my name is Dave Parker and this is my business partner Grant McQuilkin at ICCG and ICCG Capital. Hey, so we've been helping you understand a little bit more about what it is to sell your business, and one of the things we talked about in the last couple of videos was due diligence, and that's where after you've signed a letter of intent, the purchaser has a right to do a deep dive on your business, and so they'll look at some of the legalities, they'll look at your corporate work. It's really a lot of questions, it's a massive amount of paperwork you're going to be giving out to them, and we're going to help you do that if you're one of our clients anyways, help manage that process. And part of that is getting through the financial piece of this and to make sure that what you've represented is accurate. And along with when you start representing, opening up your books, there's two areas that I know that, you know, as our business, as we've been business owners before, we're very hesitant to give out anything about our customers and much about our employees as well. And so we want to protect that as much as we could. And so one of the things that happens now is because a lot of small businesses are not going through annual audits, either before we put a business on the market, we may ask if they would like to go ahead and do what we call a quality of earnings and get that out of the way. Sometimes it helps increase the sales price, or it's typically done with a sophisticated buyer during the due diligence process, and that's the quality of earnings. And there's several different reasons for that. And so Grant is our resident CPA and understands this. So would you help people with that quality of earnings and what that amounts to? Is often it's called the QOE or Q of E, and another one of those acronyms out there. So help us understand it.
It's not an audit. Okay, and you know, most CPAs will tell you it's not an audit, right, but it is as close as what you and I would understand an audit. Right. What you're asking an independent accounting firm to do, typically they're accountants, is to go in and make sure that that revenue model that you have represented is making the money that you have said it has. Right. Right. And so, and what are the things that might upset the revenue model? Right. And so there's some general things that it always in a Q of E, you'll see things like a proof of cash, which in yours and my lingo is, are your sales really your sales? Okay.
Show me the money.
That's right.
Show me the money.
And so, but there are also, depending on the type of business, there's specific areas that you want them to focus in on, because some of the information that they want to make sure is correct is not that impactful to the buyer. Right. And so you want to make sure that there are certain things that are really correct in the financial statements, not because you want to know how much it is, but how the business has been performing. Right. And so they'll go in and they'll prove your earnings over the last few years. And it's a great tool for the buyer because they can trust that the CPA firm has done hard labor in going in and checking everything and making sure that if something is crazy, that it would come up and they would question it. Again, if the target company, if the client that we're selling has had an audit or review, then it makes it so much easier because there are a lot of procedures that are similar that they go through with those particular accounting services with a Q of E. But that quality of earnings report is very, very helpful to a buyer.
It also helps them determine what the working capital amount is, right?
That's right. Yeah. It's one of the major reasons why they have a quality of earnings is so that the buyer can estimate what that working capital peg we talked in a previous video needs to be.
Right. And the nice thing about that is on this whole thing is that, you know, if you've kept good books and, you know, you don't have anything to be scared of, it's just, it is what it is, right? And so
but there are, I mean, look, every business owner, you and I included, you know, we don't want to give out our customer information. We don't give out a pricing information just to anybody, especially if we're selling to a competitor.
Right.
And so when you do and how much you do, it's called timing and extent, is so important to manage. And we spend a lot of our time going between buyers and sellers to make sure that the right amount of information is conveyed so that they're confident to write that big check.
That's right. That's what it's all about, right?
That's right.
Show them the money. Hey, thank you for joining us. We look forward to having you with us next time from our offices right here in Allen, Texas.